If your child is in RSP, then consistency is everything. And there is nothing more inconsistent than going through a divorce. Hi, I'm Claudia Brown Coulter, your go-to mediator for navigating divorce while parenting children with special needs. I'm a registered legal document assistant based in the greater Los Angeles area, and I'm also an IEP advocate. Let's talk about your child. Maybe they're an RSP or SDC or a life skills class, or maybe they're on a 504. All children require consistency, and a divorce shakes up their world. They don't know anything different. They don't know. So you need a consistent, predictable routine. This is why school a lot of the times is the safest place for kids, because it's consistent, it's predictable. They know what to expect. There aren't usually very many surprises. When there is, like a substitute, all hell breaks loose because it's not consistent and they can get away with acting crazy. So when you are approaching divorce and your child has special needs, you really want to think about what sort of services are around us so that we can create as much consistency as possible. Someone recently commented on a video, the school doesn't have to do anything related to divorce. Yeah, obviously. But doesn't the school have a responsibility to respond to a child's needs? 100%. A divorce is a change in circumstance, and it's very likely you're going to see a change in behavior, regression, dysregulation emotionally, maybe even a refusal to attend school or to switch to a certain class. These things may show up depending on your child. They could have difficulty even concentrating on schoolwork because they're so sad, or they're so anxious because they don't know what it's going to be like to go to mom's new house. And where will they sleep? And is their favorite teddy bear there? And does mom know how to make the spaghetti the way dad knows how to make the spaghetti? These are things kids worry about. And oh yeah, does she have a Disney Plus account that I can access? Am I going to be able to even do anything there? They may not know how to ask for help. And if you notice your child is struggling at school or at home, you've got to go talk to somebody. You got to go talk to their case carrier and say, hey, my baby is struggling because we are going through a divorce. This is what I'm seeing at home. What are you seeing at school? You may need to have an addendum to the IEP so you can talk about what additional services do we need to and supports do we need to put into place right now to help them in this transition time. You're going to need to have some sort of conversation with the school. It's not the school's problem unless you make it the school's problem. You need to make it the school's problem. If your child is suffering in school and you see a difference, do not wait. Make it the school's problem. Your child's life is changing. The school needs to be aware of that. Their behavior is changing. The school needs to know the reason why. And then as a team, you need to brainstorm, how can we support this student/child now? How can we support them now? Now, how do you create consistency as co-parents? Because you're in two different homes. You can use a shared calendar. Personally, I don't really want other people on my calendar. Maybe you use a co-parenting app where there's a shared calendar. You could align yourselves on bedtimes, but if it's a contentious divorce, they don't want to hear from you. You just try to control everything. I know how to put my own kids to bed. You can try. It's a conversation that you can try, but inform them, because if your child has special needs, actually, that doesn't even really matter. In every relationship, there is one person who shares more of the load, one person who shoulders more of the parenting load. So that other person, they're not going to know. They're going to act like they know. They're not going to know what your kid needs. They don't know. You got to inform them. Even if you get rebuffed, even if you get some angry attitude from them about, you don't need to tell me what to do with my kid. All right, buddy, let's see how that goes. Tell it to them anyway. Let them know, okay, yeah, great. I'm just going to let you know this is what we do. This is usually how they thrive. I'm open to having a new routine as well. Maybe we can sit down and brainstorm some new ideas of maybe shifting their schedule, and we can agree on them so that they know they can go to either house and have the same routine. And also, we have good kids, right? Our kids are so good, but they're still kids. And so if they think they can get away with stuff with me, but not with you, or they're going to try to pit us against one another. Let's make sure we're in sync here so that they don't do that, because that's not good for them. Come to the conversation with humility. Humility is not weakness. Humility is strength. So come to the conversation with humility and see if you guys can reach an agreement on what those types of schedules should be, how you should communicate with the school, and keep the staff in the loop. You don't need to tell them all about the affairs that happen. You don't need to get the staff on your side. Trust me, they already know about the co-parent teachers gossip. They already know. They know who comes to the meetings and who don't. They already know. So be professional. Teachers shouldn't be going to court and reporting and like being up on trial in your divorce. That should not be happening. Okay, but don't make it easy for them to go do that. You be professional on this campus. We're going through a divorce. Their other parent and I are working through things. We are doing our best to stay out of court. We need the school's support. And can you look out and let me know what you see is working for a child and what isn't? And if they're having emotional meltdowns, this is probably the reason. Can you let us know? And make sure you contact both of us. The other thing is you need to think about, okay, if the school communicates with me, I need to let the other parent know, and vice versa. Don't hide information. And some people they're not good about that. Not because they're being nasty and petty, some people are, but because they just not Johnny on the spot with emails. So when parents need help with their IEPs, and really it's because they're going through a divorce and they're in a disagreement, or they're working on their parenting plan, it's, well, what are the best routines? This isn't about your ego or their ego. It's about the child's best interest. How does this child thrive? What does the data say about your child? And hey, parents, you can keep data too. Keep data on what time they go to bed and what they eat and how it impacts their mood. Keep data on that so that, the school better have some data. But you come to your mediation sessions with data too. Maybe you're not mediating your divorce, but you guys have got to get on the same page about what should be included in the IEP. Collect data at home. This is what they do. And every incident, this is exactly what has happened. There's no feelings involved with data. You're recording what is or not happening. Also, I help you with the co-parenting plan. I help you get on the same page so that you can present a unified front to the IEP team. You don't want your child embarrassed in the IEP or an SST meeting or a 504, because the older your child gets, once they get to a certain age, they're going to be invited into those meetings and expected to be in those meetings. So if you are in there arguing with their co-parent, you look stupid and you're embarrassing them. Don't do that. Get on the same page in private and help your child save face. We don't need to talk. The IEP meeting is not the time to talk about how terrible your child is. No, it is not. Especially not if they're sitting there. No. We're there to support our child and get them the help and services they need. Period. I want you guys to be able to create a unified plan that is calm. You're presenting a unified front to the school and to your children, because whether you like it or not, you will always be family. You will always be family. You will always be family. Conflict keeps you connected, so you may be tempted to get wrapped up in the conflict so you can stay connected with your former spouse. You'll have a better connection if there isn't conflict. You actually will, because you'll get along and you'll be able to have conversations and you'll be able to co-parent well, and you'll be invited to things at their house and you'll be able to invite them to things at your house that focus around your children. Getting on the same page, having routines and consistency is important for all children, but especially if they have some sort of identified disability, they need it even more. So I implore you, ask for help. None of us know all of the answers. None of us know everything, but we can all help our children and the children around us to have a wonderful, happy, successful childhood because they're surrounded by adults who put them first. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. If somebody could use it, be a good friend and pass it on.